It's all on the line in round 24. The long home and away season is now down to the final week, with ramifications for everyone sitting in that top 9. The Adelaide Crows seal top of the ladder, and unless Richmond cause a monumental upset against Geelong, the top 2 is set, and it's time for the rest to battle for their final positions before the start of the final series after the season-ending bye week. But let's get to the game of the round, and the one most likely to determine the final 8 teams. It is the Western Bulldogs hosting Fremantle at 3:20pm on Sunday. With Fremantle's loss to Brisbane at home and the Dogs' easy win at Marvel against West Coast, it means the two essentially play in an early elimination final. Now, the Gold Coast Suns dropping their home game meant the Giants were safe no matter what due to percentage, and unless Gold Coast completely capitulate and lose both games against Port Adelaide away and then home against Essendon, they will also be safe on percentage. Fremantle's current percentage of 108.6 is 7 less than the next best in the 8, which is the Giants. That's why this is the game of the round, with the Bulldogs sitting at 140.3%, the third best in the AFL. Pressure is on from all angles. Fremantle were no doubt disappointing at home in a huge game that could have put them in the top 4. The callers on the night pointed out their lack of dare and transition play, but they did lose clearances by 6 and uncontested possession by 90. They couldn't get the ball, and when they did, they coughed it up too easily, leaking 53 points to Brisbane from their own back half turnovers. Criticism will come on the Dockers, fairly enough. They still have won 11 of their past 13 games and played incredibly well on the road in wins against Collingwood, Gold Coast and GWS. They have been road warriors this year. Longmuir backed his team in his post-game presser. We'll go over there and give our best shot. We've won 11 of 13. I know everyone will be doom and gloom and write us off again after tonight, but I've got a lot of faith in this team. We've grown a lot. We've already won 3 more games than last year. Perhaps being away from home with a sense of less pressure from a home crowd might help this Fremantle team be at their explosive best. Then there are the Western Bulldogs. 4 wins on the trot, but still flaws coming into the game. The glaring one is their record against the other top 9. Just 2 wins, and both of them against GWS. They will have to break that record to make it into September. But overall, they are in good form, and the ever-present threat of Aaron Norton and Sam Darcy up forward lingers, while the much criticised defence has had 3 good weeks from their past month, but you can also fairly question the quality of their opposition. Now, the two did play each other in round 4 at Optus Stadium, with Fremantle winning by 16 points, being helped by a big burst at the end of the second quarter. Now, Marcus Bonampelli did not play in that game, and neither did Hayden Young. We know the Bont will be there, and Fremantle will be hoping their own on-ball star can make it to the must-win affair. It could even be their veteran superstar and best player in club history Nat Fyfe's final game if they can't get the win. Now, for the coaches, it seems Beveridge will be 100% safe no matter what, but we know the same can't be said for Longmuir. It's hard to see him getting sacked because of the 15 wins they will have had, but it will no doubt put immense pressure on him for next season. For these two sides, it really is all on the line in an early elimination final under the roof at Marvel Stadium. Then there is Collingwood. 5 losses from 6 games, but a great effort in Adelaide against the top of the table Crows. But a great effort has still left them in a tough spot. It may also not be the kings of the close finish anymore. Under McRae in his first 3 seasons, Collingwood were a ridiculous 23 wins, 2 draws and 5 losses in games decided by under 10 points. However, this year they are 3-4 and have lost their last 3 close finishes to Gold Coast, Fremantle and Adelaide. But they should win against Melbourne, and percentage will be critical. Here is why. If all the favourites win next week, it means that Gold Coast vs Essendon game on Wednesday becomes crucial. The Suns will be a game behind, but they will know the percentage they need to leapfrog the Pies into 4th. There might be quite a few Collingwood supporters at home, barracking for their Victorian rivals in Essendon to be as competitive as possible. Now, Hawthorn could beat Brisbane as well, but the Friday night for the Pies involves more than a win. A big win and a gain of 2 or 3% could be the difference in a serious flag tilt, likely to begin at the Adelaide Oval again, or a home elimination final, possibly against Hawthorn. They got a lot of players back in form against the Crows, and we'll be hoping Bobby Hill and Jeremy Howe can get up for the Melbourne game. And don't sleep on the final game of the home and away season. It still has big ramifications. If Brisbane win at home, a place they have been patchy at in 2025, they will secure a top 4 spot, which will be third, and should be in line to face Geelong at the MCG in week 1 of the finals. It was the same fixture in which they overcame at the preliminary final stage last season on their way to a premiership. But Hawthorn, their opponents, are warming up and have hit great form. The full tall forward line is looking strong. Jack Gunston makes it work with his lead-up play, while Mabiel Chol has been handling the duties of the second ruck role. A win for Hawthorn will put them 2 points ahead of Brisbane, and therefore, depending on percentage, could put them third on the ladder. It's not the do or die finals game it might have been looking like about a week ago, but don't underestimate how important it will be. A Hawthorn loss could leave them as low as 8th, and maybe even matching up against Collingwood in a cutthroat elimination final in week 1. What a game that would be. So the final round of the season still has so many angles of importance. Now only one of the games will decide who makes the 8, and the ramifications from that will be fascinating. Whoever loses out of the Western Bulldogs and Fremantle will be disappointed, but also brutally unlucky. If the Dogs miss, they will finish on 14 wins and a likely percentage above 135, which has never happened before. If Fremantle miss, it will be with 15 wins, a total that normally gets you top 4, and again, that has never happened before. The criticism will come, but in the context of VFL AFL history, both clubs have had good seasons. They just have. It's also a critical week for the last 2 premiers. Collingwood without a top 4 place are hard to picture winning 4 straight finals, especially if they have personnel missing, and while Brisbane's best football may be the best, it has still been sporadic at times, and the same applies. Making it back-to-back grand finals from outside the top 4 would be special, but surely there would be a fatigue from trying to do that with such long campaigns backed up against each other. They will be favoured at home over the Hot Hawks, but are just 6 wins and 4 losses at the Gabba. So we are well and truly on the way to finals, and the first game of significance is that Friday night clash between Collingwood and Melbourne. And for any hope of top 4, McRae's men will need the 4 points and maybe a bit of a percentage boost as well.